Well, hello and welcome to week four, BUS 170. So last week you did an excellent job, and this is where I often get a little bit more excited than my students because once you learn how to take payment and once you learn how to do a survey, you are well on your way to having a profitable business because you can actually receive money. So some students jump to the fact, hey, what do I do about taxes? Do I need to be an LLC? Not yet, not yet. As soon as you start generating revenue, then you're ready to do that. But you have to have an appreciation for how far you've come. So that week three was one of the most challenging weeks because you had to get a Square point of sale device, and most all of you did it. It was just great because that means you can send out an invoice and you can also start making a website, which is going to be the topic of this week. Once you can do a survey, many of you have already got 15 responses. That means you have 50 people that are engaged with your company that want to give you feedback. Now it's only a matter of time before you figure out what good or service they actually want. But then you've done some other things, right? You're a long way down the road for content because you have a logo, which is great, and you have a mission statement, and you have Facebook. So the two most complicated things when starting a business that confuse people, and if you mess them up, it never works, is how do you advertise and how do you do accounting? You actually have both of those solved already. And what do I mean by that? Facebook allows you to connect with other individuals who have Facebook, and you can tell people what your product and service is based on information from the customer, which you received from your survey. If you didn't get it all right the first time, no big deal. Because if you look at the biggest companies in the world, how about Apple, Amazon, absolutely huge companies. What do? Well, they ask customers for feedback. Amazon is the most famous. They have that stars. Why do they have the stars? To figure out what the customers think about their products. And then what do? They sell stuff to you online with a point of sale device. You have Square, they have theirs. But now you're actually in the territory of Amazon. You're like, wow, geez, I'm not that huge. That's not the point. The point is Amazon sells you stuff on a website that you might be interested in and has a feedback loop and rinse repeat, does it over and over and over again. And Jeff Bezos knew that. He started selling books. The only reason he started selling books is because he wanted the most individual units to sell. So books, one title, then you have 1,000 books, you need 1,000 different items. And he was trying to figure out the process that you have already learned, which is how do you sell an item online, have a feedback loop. So that's where you're at. So that is excellent. So I told some of you that to get your 50 points out of 50 points, you have to go above and beyond. If you figured out how to get Square, and if you figured out how to do the survey, great. And then you double down. You also had a logo. You had a mission statement, which is going to be your guiding light for the rest of this summer. And you were able to have a Facebook account. So now you're chugging along, you're learning how to do this process. So we're going to pivot today, which is a website. And on your website, you're going to be able to show what you are selling. So even if you're doing something like coffee, there's a lot of images for free. So you could go do free images, search that, and there's all sorts of coffee images. Or you can take pictures with your phone. Either way is fine. So even let's say you're going to construct an item, like you have a welding project. If there's something on Google, go to Google, search for it, and you click on images. If it's an image, you can copy that image and paste it right in there. And if you can make a similar thing, that's a great shortcut. Now, if there's a copyright on it, that's an issue. Unless you're just using it as an example, then you can say, hey, I'm doing it kind of like this. My thing is kind of like that thing. That way you're not taking their art, but if they put it online for public consumption, you can have a link saying, see their website? I'm doing something like that. You're still giving them credit, but you're saying I'm doing something like that. So that's a way to start getting the photographs that you need to get your website up and going. So you have a couple of things. You're going to make your website. Okay. So making a website you'd have to take a whole semester, 3 credit class to make a website. Now it is a little tricky, but there's a great 1-hour video. And you're like, a 1-hour video? Are you serious? It's like, if you learn how to make a video, you'll know how to make a website. If you know how to make a website, you can make one for yourself. And it's not really going to change that much in the next 5 or 10 years once you get the hang of it. Or you have the capability of evaluating websites or maybe even making a website for your employer. So it's a great skill, and it's such a wonderful entrepreneurial skill because you're going to learn how to learn. You're going to learn how to teach yourself. So that video that's provided is just excellent. Is an hour, yeah, but look at what you get out of that 1 hour. You learn how to actually make a website. And so the Square website also has templates. That's going to help you learn it really quickly. And then you have to look at 5 other people's websites, and you have to give them 3 questions. So I've just had you give them feedback. As you've noticed, some of the feedback has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter, which is natural. And I knew that would happen because nobody really knows how to give feedback anyway. So now there's 3 pieces of feedback you're going to give all 5 of the websites that you evaluate. And let me read them to you. They are right here. I like the fact that. I wonder if a good next step might be. So for each one of them, you have to say, I like the fact that. What do you like about their website? There's got to be something good. What does it make you wonder? And then what would a good next step be? So that's how you want to start thinking about giving feedback. So on the 5 websites, you're going to give those 3 pieces of feedback. And now, should your website be perfect the first time? No, you're just learning how to do it, right? So you can then look at other people's, and if you like it, you go back and change your website because you're going to submit the link. So you can make as many changes as you want, but the link is going to stay the same. So that's what you're doing for this week. It's just the website, but that way you can make it the way you want it, and you can work on giving feedback. All right. See you next time.